Okay, perfect. So once again, I'd like to introduce Alex. Alex is going to be our instructor, and he's going to be mainly focused on the labs. Just to repeat myself, today we're going to install a VirtualBox as a virtualization software on your machines, and then you will download and install a Windows server. And then if time permits, we're going to install Active Directory domain controllers on your server. If not, we'll continue with the lab on Wednesday. So Alex, with that said, over to you. I'm gonna put myself on mute and go off camera. If you
Okay.
need me, please feel free to
Yeah.
ping me.
Yeah. No problem. Yeah. Okay. So the prerequisite, I'm sure you got send all those installers. Do we have anyone having issue downloading or VirtualBox? You can unmute yourself if you need to
No,
speak.
all good. It's
Everybody
installed and
have?
working.
Okay. So then we will skip the VirtualBox part. So once we have that, will help us. Okay. Let me start share my screen then. Okay, we will skip the VirtualBox part if you already have your VirtualBox. And yeah, what about the you have your ISO files for Windows Server 2022?
I have the 16 ISO, but I'm downloading the 22 right now. It says 5 minutes.
Okay, so we will need a 2022 as we would have used 2016, but we'll use 2022. So you the rest of the team, you have the ISO already?
Alex, maybe you can show them where to go and download the
How
ISO.
to download? Okay,
Yeah.
no problem. We can do it. Yeah.
Hey, I'm really sorry. I didn't have a chance to install or download anything. Is that going to be a big problem for me right now?
No,
Okay,
not really. You can start
yeah,
downloading it now, and you can just watch the instructions, watch Alex do the installation. I will make sure that after today's call, I can share a YouTube link on today's session. So even if you're behind, you can watch the YouTube link to do the lab in your own time.
Okay. And is there a chance to get a links? Because I never received
yeah.
any
I've
emails.
sent the VirtualBox link here, and I will send the Windows 10,
Thank you.
Windows Server also. Uh, yeah.
Thank you.
And Benny, I
Appreciate
got
it.
everyone's email, so I will email you guys the YouTube link, both for the previous two sessions and for today's session as well. Keep in mind it takes some time to download and upload it, so expect it maybe by 11 p.m. Because it usually takes an hour or two to process and upload it to YouTube.
Yeah, I've sent the Server 2022 also. And let me show how we're gonna do that. So copy. And let me share my screen. It's open Windows. Share my screen, and then we can look at that together. Share screen. You can see my screen.
Yep.
Yeah, so the link is what I put in there for the server 2022. And you download the 64 edition. So yeah, it come with the 64 regular edition. Yeah. And then you just download it to wherever you want to download it to. Mine is being downloaded using my directory. So I have it already, so but I can just quickly download again. So I'm just using the IDM downloader to help me to quickly download it. But if you don't have it, it's still gonna download, just that it's gonna take a while. So for the rest that have the ISO already, you want me to start the operation or just give it like 2 minutes, 3 minutes before we start?
I
For
suggest
people
we
to,
wait a few minutes, making sure everyone
okay,
has started the download. At least once they have
okay.
the download started, then you can go through the installation. And once your installation is complete, maybe you can ask someone else to share their screen and walk it through them again.
Yeah. So also for this labs, I would suggest take a screenshot as we keep on going because you're gonna need them to prepare for your playbook. Did you have a chance to talk about the book, the playbook, Tara? Are you all from a IT background or someone new getting into IT? Okay, mostly. Okay. Let me know when your ISOs get downloaded already. So once we have like 3 people or something, we can start moving on. I have ISO already. Just this is just second version of it. So if any of you are ready, I can start the lab or I can wait for it to finish. Yeah, good, Andrew. Yeah, great. Okay, I'll pause my download because I don't really need it, and we can start the class. Can keep some resource ready so that yeah, let me stop console in here. Okay, so if you anyone missing the VirtualBox or need help installing VirtualBox, okay, if everyone have a VirtualBox, maybe can give me a sign or speak, or if anybody need help, then let me know. If not, then I'll proceed.
Yeah, I have it downloaded, installed, good to go.
Okay. Okay, so we're gonna start our class, and VirtualBox, depending on which version you have, they all look similar and almost the same. So we will start to create a virtual machine. It's a new virtual machine. So we will go with the create. Oh, no, it's creating. I'm sorry. Yeah. So we're gonna add new VM. So add. Let me go in my. Where's my creating? I was creating a virtual network. Let me remove these virtual networks. I don't need them. This one. So we can file new, we create new VM. We click on the create new VM. We want to give it a name. So mine, I want to give it prepare a name for. I want to call mine DC. put in here. LSDC 2024. So you want to keep it a name, maybe a name initial for you. So at future labs, we may need to identify each one's server. So if it's not unique, it may cause issue of identify. So I want to put AlexDC 2024 for mine. You can name it yours, whatever you want to name, but put something like DC, something which will be easier for you to remember. Or yeah. And the folder to leave the VirtualBox, I'm keeping mine by default. You can put it wherever you want to choose if you want to put it any other place apart from that. ISO image, I'm gonna add mine, attach mine here. That's the ISO where you downloaded your ISO. You wanna attach your ISO. So I'll come into mine and I'll be looking for my server 2024 English, yeah, 2022. So I've touched my server 2022, yeah, evaluation edition. And I'll skip the uninstall. So I'll go next. I want to give it a username. So here I'll put admin, administrator. And then I'll give it a password. You can keep it a simple password or complex how you want, but please write it somewhere so you don't lock yourself out. Yeah, and that's it. Product key, things not important. Guest addition included. I'm including guest addition. We're gonna need a guest addition and next. Okay, so this one, it will depend on each one's resource. Based on your resource, you give it as much base memory as you can. So if you can give something like 3, that will be fine. Or depend on whatever you have. So I'm keeping mine not too much so that it doesn't affect your system. So, and process, I think I'll give it a 4 somewhere like that. Yeah. And EFE ISO nest. And the virtual disk, I'm gonna create 50 is fine for me. Depending on what you have, I'm keeping at 50. Nest. And I'm good with mine. I'm gonna click on finish. So I'll bring this up. I don't wanna power my system on. Yeah, power it off. No, I don't want power on. Cancel. Power off machine. Okay. Yeah, I wanna bring it on top. Make it easy. Okay, so we want to do some settings, come in settings. So description here, I'll suggest if you can't remember your password, you can put your password in here. I set up just a reminder for myself. So I'll put my password, I put for a test, I'll put password 0123 hash. That's my password just to remind me. In production environment, you don't need to do that, but this is lab and some students sometimes forget which password they use as we build many labs. So I'll put description in here. The name, everything is fine. My version, Windows Server 2022. In the I go to advanced. Here with the keyboard, in the terms of keyboard, clipboard, I want to do bidirectional. Sometimes we may need to copy something, copy and paste. If you don't set it to, you put it on disable, you have to type everything and you'll be isolated. So for the lab and testing, as we may copy some links and all that, I want to put mine on bidirectional so I can copy in between and drag and drop. Yeah, I'll put that also bidirectional. But if you are doing this in the production environment, you have to go with your company policy to decide on that. Okay, in here, optical, I don't need floppy disk. I will disable floppy disk and everything is all good here. Enable tablet mode, that's fine. Display, I'm not changing anything on display. It's good here. For the graphic controller, I will set mine to think VBox GA. Sometime we have a little bit of issue in here, so let's keep it the VBox VGA, and let's see if it doesn't work for some folks. You have issue, we will revert it back, so we can change up to we have right now. I already have mine. I have my hard drive. I have also my ISO, and after integration, we can remove the ISO. Okay, audio, we don't need to do anything. Network. Okay, in network, I don't want to use NAT. I want to start with the host only. So you change your network to host only or internal. Host only adapter. Okay. And everything else is all good. I'm not going to change anything. Any question before we proceed? And I'll save mine. You can unmute yourself if you want to speak before we power on the server. All good? Okay, all good. I'm gonna start. Hopefully always good. Sometimes because we are using Zoom and it's also consuming a lot of energy and the system labs can be slow sometimes. So hopefully we have a smooth ride today. So as the installation going on, you can take some screenshot so that you can help you for your build book. Once you are preparing your build book, you need to have some pictures and all that, and it will help you.
Hey, sorry, do I need to change anything in language and time and currency format?
Where you are? Is it in the virtual box or you already
I'm
powered
already
on?
on a server setup.
Okay, just wait. I'll be there in few seconds.
Okay.
And yeah, but the language thing is up to you. Whichever language you're okay. We
Okay.
don't have a problem. So English is fine. Your location. We're not gonna be dealing too much of those. So
Okay.
yeah, United States, English, Canada, whatever language you prefer is okay. In natural world, you may not be doing this. So this is just the opportunity to get it done once and for all. So when you become professional working in a company, this would already been set up for you. So you wouldn't have to set this up. Just that once you learn through here, you'll be able to pass your interview, helps you whenever random questions come, you'll be able to answer them. And if you have any question as we go in, feel free to ask, and that will help us to prepare you for your interview and your future job. So whatever question that you have, just shoot. And if I don't know the answer, Tara is there, or we'll figure it out together. So for those installing, if you happens to get to the edition of the server, you want to select desktop edition, the data center desktop edition. That is 2022, so I think it's already coming with the right edition. Did it install me server edition? I'm not thinking that. Yeah. Think I
So
got
you,
installed server edition. Yeah.
so you put standard, not data center.
Yeah, data center, but we have used data center desktop experience. Yeah, I think I missed this step in there, so I will stop this and reconnect. Did any of you pass this stage?
No, everything's good.
Okay.
Should I install upgrade or custom?
Upgrade of what? You want to have a yeah, you want to have a custom, yeah.
Custom, not upgrade. Okay.
Yeah. Because it's the first time you installing. So let me put 15 to shut it down and put again. Yeah, it skipped me. So yeah. So these are part of the experience. I didn't do it intentional. So whenever we are installing setup and processes, we want to really see to what we are answering. So
I have the same window with
issue?
15
Yeah, so
pieces.
yeah, so we had the standard edition. The standard edition will give you command line. So that's not what we want. We want to select the desktop edition. So because VirtualBox changes interface, sometimes they don't pop up right away sometime, but anyway, it's not a problem. We will just get it done. So I'll power up my machine and we will just reconfigure it. So come back. I'm apparently wanna change
Shut
the
down
name.
server.
Yeah, shut down server, but I will change my name sometime. The same name, it gives a little bit of issue, so I will just come file machine new, and then I'll put I'm gonna put 2024 December. Yeah, I'll put just adjust the name a little bit so it will pick it up. I wouldn't bother, I'll remove it afterwards, but for the time being. So for part DEC, December at the back of it. Okay, I know where the problem came up. So select bar and the edition. So if you have the same thing instead here, the edition was, you should have selected the edition here. That got me skipped. And we want to select the server data center desktop experience. Yeah, desktop experience. So it pick up default. So desktop experience, and I'm gonna be quickly here. Remove that. Just add administrator. Yeah, so in IT, things will not always go straight, but your understanding of knowing exactly when you go wrong, that's the key. You can talk about it in your interview. Sometimes they will ask you, what are the bad experience? What are the trouble that you've met? You cannot say, oh, I never experienced no bad trouble or nothing. It's never true. We always gonna have issue. So this is a similar example, installing Windows Server. I was intended to have like a desktop experience. I ended up installing Virtual. How did you fix it? Yeah, I just rebuilt a new box and then use the right positive. Then they know you can still solve problem. You are problem oriented. So those all helps and comes in. Domain. I don't need no domain here. Yeah. Host name is fine. Yeah. Include the guest addition and next. Well, Okay, we still want some host name. What is my error? Configure unattended. No, I don't want unattended.
I think it doesn't like the name that you had
Skip
there.
unattended. Yeah, I need to skip unattended installation. Yeah, and go next. Increase the volume. Yeah, that's fine. I'm gonna be a little bit resource so we can go a little faster. Yeah, that's fine. And 50 is okay. Yeah, okay. The next quickly finish. Finish. Over here, I mean, put settings. I'll put advanced bidirectional. Bidirectional description, so good. It's fine. Storage, so good. Network, we wanna put host only. Yeah, and everything else is good. Okay. Start. Once that is going on, I'm gonna delete this machine. I don't need it. Delete all files. Yeah, that is gone. Sorry about it, but that's the kind of mistakes we're gonna be having. We test, we fix, you mix network, you get in, you cannot find, doesn't work, you come back, you fix it. That's how it works. Yeah, so this is what we expect. The language, United States is fine for me. English next. Install. And this can be a tricky one also. So sometime they can put you in front of like a whiteboard or something, install or tell me the mistake or show you a screen between a normal machine or different thing and ask you to choose what is going on or access it. You should be able to see, okay, this is not the way it's supposed to look, or you don't even know. So at least. And is it the 2016 version? Oh man, okay. I think it's just downloading 2016. Anyway, let's go ahead with it. And 2016, 2024, oh, the same. So let's go install.
Why did you do upgraded, not custom?
I did a custom.
No, you did upgrade.
I did upgrade.
Yes.
Anyway, there's nothing to upgrade. So come back, install. I did a custom install. home. Anyone finish with this setup, or you still same as
Close,
usual?
close to it.
You're close to, okay.
Yeah.
Mine is still installing since I had to delete it and start a new one.
Mhm.
Yeah. So when you are encountering issues at in IT world, managers and supervisors and anyone in IT, is okay to listen to your downfall. So never use that as a disadvantage on you. People who normally get success easily, they are lucky, and sometimes they are not the right people to hire. So people who have faced challenges and able to resolve it, those are important people because it helps you in reflecting, understanding, and doing all that stuff. You saw how I have to quickly move in. Okay, yeah, I came in, it's occupying space. We set up a new one, just remove it, take care of that later, move on, get the job done. Once you finish, you do cleanups. So these are all part of the process that you need to explain. So sometimes nobody want to know what successful things you did. They also want to see the challenges. And if you really never encountered everything went smoothly, you followed all the pre-book. Yeah, it's good, but sometimes too you need to be able to share whatever encounters that you face and how you were able to resolve it. Who helped you? Did you read the documentation to get yourself resolved, or you ask for help? It comes with teamwork. Yeah. So as we're doing the lab, if you see something, I wouldn't be doing intentional stuff, but I will be expecting everyone helping as a team and let's work together. So if you see me do something, type something wrong, you can comment. If not, we have to come back and resolve it. So I'll be happy if you be pointing the mistakes I'm making through. And once you are making the same, I'll be pointing out to this is the teamwork. So we're building the same habit in here because you're gonna rely on your team when you're gonna be in the workforce. You will be there and everyone will have its own role, but your job will depend on somebody. So we cannot act like we don't care. So once you feel like something is not going the right way, you just gonna point it out and then we all resolve it. And remember to be taking the screenshot so you'll be adding that to your build book. Yeah, it's almost done. once we have all set up, we're gonna remove our ISO so it doesn't keep on popping up again and again. Okay, so as administrator, I'm gonna put my password. And this password is your local password. So password 0123. C password. I'll go finish. Okay. Anyone here yet? Or we need to wait for someone to get here? Or we all good?
Mine's stuck on
So-
60% and it just doing really everything really
Okay.
slow.
No problem. Yeah, it depends on the resource that we give. So we'll put the you log in. The keyboard input, insert the control del delete or delete. And then we put, so you saw what I did, the input control delete. It doesn't work on that, so you can tap on your enter on your right shift, right enter, or put the select the input, select control delete. And that will bring in the interface. Okay, and I'll put in my password now. And hopefully we will get in. Yes, we are in. Okay. Anybody need help? You want to share your screen if you're facing issue, or I'm good to proceed? You can unmute yourself and speak if you have any question before we proceed. Okay, you have an issue with Server Manager? Okay, no problem. First of all, let me bring this one down. Raz, you wanna share your screen? So we can look at what is happening. Let me see if you have, let me check options, if you're allowed to share your screen. No, also host to, let me see, enable waiting. Share screen. Ras, you wanna share your screen? Or you cannot share? Let me see. 1 second. Who can share all participants? Okay, can you try now? Okay. So you go to the search, drag and drop operation, guest host fail. Okay. Yeah, it's fine. Go to, okay. We are not copying anything, so just
Can you
go
hear
to,
me?
okay. Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay.
So just close that one and go to the search, and then let's find, which version did you install? Yeah, 2024. Okay. We cannot see all your page, your screen. So yeah, it's
Oh,
coming up.
maybe that's
Yeah,
it. Oh, okay.
yeah, it is. Okay. All right.
Okay, all good.
All good. Okay. I will take over the screen now. Anyone want to share or have issue that we can look at it? If not, then I'll proceed.
Seems to be all good.
Okay, no problem. Let me, um, okay, so the first thing I want us to do is, if I try to increase, I'll still have a small screen, which is not helpful. So we want to install the guest addition. So we will come to the device, insert guest addition CD. You click insert, and it's gonna pop up in a few seconds. We go into system, it's coming, and guest addition is there. And then you just double click in, and then you run the guest addition. That's the version we want to run. Next, install. That will give us more extra tool that we'll be able to enlarge the screen to have a full screen, and it's easier for the view purpose. Yeah. Okay, I can reboot now, or reboot. Yeah, let me reboot now. So anytime you face issue, you want to share your screen, just let me know and take over. And yeah. Okay, it's done. Put and okay. Password. Now we have the guest addition on. We should be able to have a full screen. So I'll try to have a full screen. Yeah. Let me know if you'll be able to have a full screen. So Okay, we need to do a few cleanups before we proceed with the domain controller. We see that our network and computer name, they are not the right one as we set them up. So I want to change my computer name, and also I want to get the network. So there are many ways to do it. If you're already here, you can use the local server and click on the change name. If you're already in that, or you can just go in there and then system change name. You can do that, whichever way you want to go. If you already have the server manager open, you go to the change name. So I'll come in the change name, and then I'll name it what my server was. So I'll call my server the name that I gave it before, LSDC 2024. That was the original name I gave mine. And then I'll do apply. Okay. Okay, and then we want to do network. IPv4. Anyone following? Oh,
Right.
and the network. Yeah, so I came here, the same place. I did the name change. We will reboot, and it will take effect after the reboot. So I'm gonna finish with the name change. It's already being changed. So okay. I'm gonna do the no, we are not changing work group, we are changing network. So IPv4, we come in here, the network IP, and I'll put the IP in our chat. So properties, and then we come IPv4. We can turn off IPv6, we don't need it, but you can let it be if you, yeah, and then properties. Let me copy our IPs into the chat. So this is the IP we are using for the server. We are using a static IP. And the subnet is 255.255.255. We are not using default gateway. We are not going to the web. So, and our preferred DNS, we wanna put, we wanna route through ourselves. And the charts, let me put the chart here. DNS. So 127.0.0.1 in network means home. So we wanna put a route to ourselves. Let me know if you have any question before I proceed. If there's no question, I have put it in the chat. The IP is there, and then the DNS. Yeah.
I cannot see it in the chat.
Oh, sorry. I was
Yeah.
sending it to Taha. Yeah, I think he sent a message, and yeah, drop it to him to meeting group. Meeting group. Okay, I'll do it again. Copy IP. You can see it now.
Yeah, I can see.
Yeah, DNS. I put DNS. Okay, so I have the IP, I have the DNS, and then the subnet is 255.255.0. That will autofill. So this is a class C IP. Class C IP. 192 is a class C, so sometimes they can ask you what classes of this, but it's not a network class, but we're supposed to know what class we're working with. So this is a class C IP. Okay, you can take a screenshot as part of your build book and we will proceed. So I'll put okay and close. Okay, so that is done. For our name to take reflection, I'm gonna power off the server and one more time to be sure our name is complete. I want to power off. Continue. Then now remove our ISO. We've already get our guest addition, so we don't need our ISO anymore. So I'll come in, settings. You can leave your ISO in if you want to, but I want to remove mine. So come to storage. The guest addition is still there. And then we come to system. Yeah. Optical drive. I want to bring hard drive on the top. And everything else, I want to remove them all. Yeah. Okay. So I've removed everything and only left with my hard drive. Okay. If that is good, we'll proceed. I'll turn back on and then we will proceed to install the domain controller. Any question?
Can you say again what was the preferred DNS server address?
The DNS is already in the chat. That's 127.0.0.1. That's rerouting home. Yeah. So if you want to use the shortcut keyboard instead of going to device, you use the right control and delete. The right control and delete. That will bring up the screen instead of going here. So the input. So insert control or delete. The host key is the right control. The keyboard, the right control plus delete. That's the host key. So your host key is the right control. Okay, so as we can see, we are not domain yet. So once we can see our administrator account in here, we are not domain yet. So now we wanna log in with still our local account. And then now get our system into, okay. Password 0123. Okay. Now I'll come back and see if our changes, the computer name is reflected. No, it didn't change. Okay, we can change that. The IP reflected, the name change did not. So we will do it now. I mean, for whatever reason, it did not. So I'm gonna go ahead and go to system. Yeah, change settings, and I'll change the name. Did I really change the description? Oh, computer description was what I did change. Okay, I'll change the name now. Let me just put it in here. Change the name again. So instead of changing name, I changed the description. If you can see, the description is showing here DC 2024. So no one was watching to help me out, so we have to do it again. Did you see that? Anyone got the same error? Instead of changing computer name, changing the description?
Yeah, I just
Good.
restarted it. Now it works.
You change the computer name or you change the description?
Yeah, first I did the description and then now I did the name.
Okay, so that's what I said. We need to help each other here. Okay, I'll
I
change it now.
didn't realize that it wasn't actually doing that either.
Yeah, it happens sometime in production environment. You think you are changing name because we have different interface. So when you pull in
I've
there,
never used server before, so I'm not sure how
no,
server
not even
works.
server, regular machines, sometimes it's like that, same thing.
Ah,
Regular machines, it's like that. The description part is on the top. For whatever reason, Windows did that. So you see here, computer description.
yeah,
Instead
I
of
see.
them putting the computer name, is the computer description. You have to come in here and put the change.
Yeah,
That's where you get the computer name.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's done. And I'll just go okay. And we want to be sure the computer description have been changed before. I'm gonna restart it. Without the right name, we don't want to get a server running because once we promote to domain controller, we will not be able to change the computer name. So we want to be sure you have the name that you want before we start the promotion into a server. So that's why I'm just restarting again. So if you have that error, make sure that you are good with that. We want to be sure the network piece is good and the name is right. So this part in rare environment, when you're gonna get a job, you're not gonna be doing this, but it's good to understand. So in case you need to troubleshoot things, you understand what may not be wrong or what is right. Okay, so password. Okay, and now lo and behold, we should be good. Let's wait for. And this is a general question. When do we turn server off? Anybody have an answer? When do we turn server off? Or reboot server? When do we do that? Does anyone know?
No
When
idea.
there's a major update.
Okay. So in most time production, we never want to turn off server, especially the domain controller, because they have so many things and it's super important in our organization. So the name is good, and then the IP is also good for me. So I'm good to go. If anyone is on this same path, then we'll proceed to install the domain controller. Okay, so if I have you go ahead, we're gonna start the operation. Okay, so we are in here. So there are many ways to do it. If you're on the dashboard screen, you don't need to go in here. But most time you see people, even they are here, they will still go into manage, and then add roles and features. But you are here already, is there, add roles and features. So whichever one you want to do is the same thing. So most people are seeing in the labs, and I do it also. You can go to here, manage and add roles and features, or it's already in front of you here. If you are, let's say here, then you go there, but it's on the dashboard, add roles and features. So we'll click on that, and we'll go next. Yeah, role-based features installation next. Okay, so you want to verify. If this is wrong, don't proceed. We are not going to be able to change the name. So if this is wrong, don't proceed. We want to be sure it's the right one. Okay, we go next. And what are we trying to do? We want to add Active Directory domain service. That's what we want to add, Active Directory domain service. Active Directory domain service. Let me cancel and do it again. This is the one that we want to add, Active Directory domain service. Okay, you're good to go. Active Directory domain service, and we're gonna add features. Added the features, and that's all we need. We just click on next. You don't need anything more here. We just go next. And then we go next. And then we go install. And we will sit and wait. Any question? Okay. So mine is finished. Have you yours is finished too, or if yours is finished, same as mine, let's proceed. I'll close it. So now we already finished the first part of the installation. We will see in here this hazard symbol with a yellow icon. We will click on that. And then we need to promote this server to domain controller. So we have installed the feature. We now need to promote it as a domain controller. If anybody need help, let's help before we proceed. If not, then I'll proceed. Am I okay to proceed?
Yep.
Okay, I'll take it a yes. So we just need to press promote to domain controller. Okay. And this step is very important. So let's follow. So what do we want to do? We add in new folders. we add a domain controller to an existing forest. That's not what we are doing. We want to create a new one. It's the new one that we're creating. So we'll select add new forest. And we want to give it a name. Yeah. So I want to call mine class.com. You can name yours whatever. You don't need to use the same as mine. We want to have a different names or whatever. So you can name your cyber.com or whatever.com, whatever name you want to give it. Doesn't matter. But I'm using class.com. Okay. And then I'll go next. Okay, so we have we don't need to change anything here. We can let everything be. We need to set up a password. This password is for the domain controller in case we need to change something. But if you don't want to get fully confused or anything, just use the same password as you use the other time. So I'm using the same password so I can keep to remember. Yeah. Then I'll go next. Okay, it doesn't, we are not creating our DNS, so it's fine. This is error. It's just a warning, so there's no issue with that. So we are not adding anything. No DNS here for now. Go next. Have all good. Yeah, so the NetBIOS, it will fill itself. You don't need to put anything here. Just the same name that you gave minus the .com. So mine, I put class.com. Now it filled for you. There's a little bit of delay, but it will just show up. So mine is class.com, class. And then we go next. We don't need to change anything. Go next. Everything is fine. So we can download a script. If you want to do the same thing, you just have to use the script, but it's the same thing we are doing here. So we don't need to do that. Go next. And then we wait. It's checking for prerequisite. Okay, so everything came all good. We just only have warning, so everything is fine. Now we click on install. Then we wait for the installation. Okay, so once it's finished installation, it's gonna sign it off. So I'm gonna click my OK, and then it's gonna restart the computer and bring us into our new fun feature. That's domain controller. Now it's left the regular server and is being promoted to domain controller. So we should see something different. So in all enterprise or companies, this is the most important tool. That's the domain controller that takes care or initiate all logs in. Everything pass through the domain controller. To be able to do anything effective, it needs to use domain controller. That's why it never goes down.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yeah.
How soon the recording of this class will be available?
I cannot promise how soon, but Taha will be able to share some of the past one because after the call, after the class, I'm gonna close the recording. It will go into the cloud. It need to be prepared as to the other. I'm not gonna be in charge of it once the class is done, and then it's gonna be in the cloud. They will prepare it and reshare. So probably in the week. Yeah, but
All right, so
I think he mentioned he might gonna send some of the older class, so some of the stuff will be similar, same. So if needed, but that will be handled by yeah,
okay, thank you.
no problem. Anyone server is up or
I'm pretty sure I messed up a few steps up here, so because it's taken way too long, and
your
I,
server?
yep, it's still
Okay,
installing some features with feature wizard.
okay,
It was one of your first things that you were setting up in uh, what it's called, the manager, the network manager.
okay. Oh, okay, the network manager. Okay, no problem. So mine is up, and this is first view of domain controller on the server. So I could right control delete to bring me in. And now we see something different. So if you see an interface, maybe for whatever purpose, if you see a server or anything, if it's part of a domain, you will see the name of the domain slash whatever is supposed to be that separated from regular server, which is not part of a domain, and a domain controller or a server, which is part of a domain or system. So we see the class in there. So I'll proceed and put the password, and the password I'm putting is the one that we set up before. Password. Okay, and we will come in. Yeah, give it a few seconds for it to be fully loaded. Okay, we're good now. So I want us to set up few GPOs and allow a few things to happen before we proceed with anything. That will help us to do some logging and all that. So I'll go on tools and then we'll look for group policy management. Anybody have idea what group policy management is used for?
Maybe to like stop people from downloading random stuff, to set policies for that.
Okay, so this is what makes domain controller powerful. So everything that is part of our domain, we can control it from here. Change the wallpaper, account login, user control, block people from doing whatever, taking things in, and then that is the group policy. That's where we do things. And this is our forest. So we call it forest. That's the domain. The topmost is the forest. That's where we are. So the name is the class.com. So that's our forest. Come in there. And then we come in to our domain, our class. And I wanna set up create GPO and link here. So I want to create a GPO and link it to the class so it will affect everything and everyone. We normally, this is the default one. We don't want to edit this GPO. That is the default. We want to always keep the default so that whatever changes we do, it doesn't affect the default in case we need to do something. We want to bring it down. And as you work deeper into your IT career, we will be creating some kind of groups, folders, and all that. But anything that is affecting the whole organization will be placed under the class, under the main domain, the main forest. Everything is cascading top down. So if you have a users group, which is going to be somewhere down here, if you apply policy on top, it goes down unless you exempt that. And that's how it works. So the policy we want to do, we want to set up an audit control. So I'll click on the class and I'll create GPU. I'll call it audit. Yeah, audits. Audit policy. And yeah, that is here. I'll right click it and I'll edit it. That's how we come in to edit GPUs. Okay, so we have two options. We have computer configuration and user configuration. Some things are both in both sides. Some things are explicitly affecting user. So let's say I want to do something based on the user to follow you everywhere with them, no matter which computer you log in as a user, maybe change your wallpaper or do something. I will set the policy in the user control and assign to you. If I'm targeting computers, I will assign it onto the computer. And then it means that all computer like firewall, screen, or whatever, you set it there. So some controls like USB kind of usage and all that, you can set it at a user control or computer control. So it's all about what you want to do. Yeah. So let me set up and then let's find policies. Yeah, policy. Let's do computer. Should we do user? Yeah. Yeah. Let me do user policy, and let me target first and go on Windows settings. Can you see my screen well? If you have any issue, let
Yep,
me know
yep.
so that I don't go too deep. And this is how we go. We open the kind of thing. You'll be playing here as a security person. And I'm starting here. Most time we're not coming here. So with teaching of class for some time, we get to understand things. So sometime if you are not looking at something, there's no way you're gonna see. So let's say you don't have a camera in front of a door, you wouldn't be able to watch the door. So this is what we do. In the olden times, some policies were turned on by default, but as modern system going on, some policies are not turned on. So we want to verify if they are on, or if they are not on, then just set them up. So we're gonna go security settings. let me go Windows settings and then security settings. One we want to set first, advanced templates or okay, let me push it through the computer advanced Windows settings and security settings. Yeah. And we have account policy. So we have different options. So now I want to go account policy. Password policies, we don't want to change anything. So this is where you will set up password policy in terms of user logon, age, and all that. We don't want to do that. I don't want to do the advanced audit policy. Yeah, I want to do advanced audit policy. Audit policy. Okay, so let me back up so you can see exactly what I'm doing. I'm on the computer policy. So we're doing the computer policy first. You click on that. We come to Windows settings. Then we go security settings. This is under the security. So under the security, we come in all the way down to advanced audit configuration. Let me know if you are there or if anybody have issue.
Yeah, I'm there.
Okay, that's good. So in here, we want to set some policies. We want to turn some things on. Tiller tracking. So click on the tiller tracking. Yeah, tiller tracking. Yeah, waiting for it to open. No, don't tell me you're taking too much of, oh, come on. Okay, yeah, it came up. So in here, we want to do a few things. Audit process creation. We want to double click and then we want to turn it on. Configure. Yeah, we want to see all. So we want to see whatever when the processes get created. So let's say some hacker send something, create something, we will get the process when it get created so we can log it. So some companies will only put like fail. What about the sources? So hacker may try and to fail, it will succeed. So we want to turn both on. The more that we can see, the better for us. Then apply. Okay, we've turned that one on. And then we want to do process termination. We may do process termination. So if a process terminates, if we want to look, we can also verify, see. Okay, that is on. Log on, log off. So this is log on, log off. Audit account logouts. We want to have account lockouts. If account get lockout, we want to audit it. You see here is turned off. So if let's say we started running through our command doing stuff, we go to event logs and we may not see the event. And you wonder, how come somebody log in, log out, and we are not able to capture that because the policy is turned off? How would you see if a policy is turned off? It will give you no record. So we'll come in, we want to see. So in a typical scenario, you may be in IC, yeah, they hire you in the team, and people claim that, oh, we having somebody log into a system, but we are not able to detect and all that. It will remind you that, oh, has those audit log been turned on or off? You will go in and you find out, oh, we are not able to detect certain things because the login is off. And then you save the day for the whole team. So we want to turn the account log on. We want to turn audit log off. So when people log off, we want to see fail and success or, and then log on, somebody log on, we also want to capture that. Right on. And then the special network policy, IPsec, group membership. Yeah, group membership. If we want to see if somebody change group membership or added to a group. And yeah, that is fine. Which one again? So there are different policies as and when. Access, object access, and then we don't want to care about that. Policy change, authentication policy change. That's also fine. Yeah. Account management. So this is about account management. So application group, user account management, we want to turn on. And security group management, yeah, we turn them on also. Computer management, yeah, later on we may need to look at all that. So this should be fine. Yeah, we should have almost all that we need. Yeah, anybody need so there's this page, try to get the user management 10 few as you can, and then account log on and all that. That's the page. If you are done so, let me know and I can leave this page so we can start the actual operation. Or anybody need help to go get here?
Yeah, all good.
You're good. Okay, program. All right, so I'll close this one. And then the policy is already here, so it's affecting everybody who is in there. And then I'll close it. Okay, so now let's have the fun. Yeah, most training you may not see this because some things not go through. So we will come here, and the most important tool is ADAC, Access Active Directory and Users and Computers. So if let's say you find a job first, you after your whole security training and nothing, you may find a job in a computer. You may not get directly cybersecurity role, maybe help desk. Then you pitch yourself into cybersecurity. You'll be working with ADAC. Active Directory, you may be also working directly in security role, which you may be domain. You'll be working with ADAC. So it's one of the key important tools that you'll be working with every day. This is the first tool I open on my computer. This is the first tool I open in my regular day job. Okay, so our domain name is here. This is what we have. And then we will move in. And in here, when a computer joins the domain controller, they comes in here. This is where the default they come. Computer OU. User, this is where users come. These are different groups which are in here. They are groups and all that. Okay, so we see these folders and we call them organization units. We want to create our own organizational unit so that we work with. So I will create our organization unit. Let me call it create new. I'll put new OU. Yeah. Under the I'll put our OU and not under the users. So yeah, under the main new organizational unit. So I'm creating it from the top. If you can see where from the class, I'll create it, creates new, and then OE, organizational unit. It just means a folder. And then I'll call it CyberWall. CyberWall users. Okay. So CyberWall users here. So if you go to organization, you will see that this could be department. So we have finance department, HR department. We don't want to put everything under one group. It doesn't help us to segregate and be able to target specific users because we want some policies only to affect certain users. So IT will have their own OU, other groups will have their own OU, and that's where it is. So now we want to we create our own OU. And inside of our OU, I'm here. Inside our OU, first, I want to create a user. So there are so many ways to create a user in the OU. On top here, I can create a user in there. I can create a group in here. So those are the tabs for user, this group. I can right click and come on new, same option. I can have new user, new group. Inside the folder, when I'm in the OU, I can right click and also do the same thing. So my first user will called create user, and let me pick up I think I have users already. I decided first user I'll call John, and then the name I'll call Doe. And one of the rules we have in the IT and enterprise purpose is we keep things consistent. So I have John Doe. You see the full name is in here, John Doe. What is the name do I want to use for the email, or we call it user principal name? User the logon name or the user principal thing I'm gonna call, say John dot Doe, and then we are using our domain. If you're gonna use for our email or anything, it's gonna be at class.com or at yahoo.com, at whatever, and you can see down here. Are we okay?
Yep.
Okay, so the organizational structure, we will keep the same as it is. So if you on help desk, you are creating users, that's how the consistency will be. You cannot create this one, John Doe, and then the next one, you change something and you add something. No, they have to be consistent. And then we go next. Here, as a practice in the help desk, if you are there, user must change password at the next logon. We set it to always, because we are creating the password for the user. If you create a password and you give to the user, now you know the password. When the user first attempt to log on, he will use the password you have given to that user. And once he log into the password and click enter, it will automatically ask the user to create a new password. So we will always select that on help desk. But since we are doing lab, we are not doing help desk thing for now. We will keep this user, let's say unselected. I'll put the password for this user and copy and put the password. I'll give this user password. I'm using the same password for the user so that I don't forget, but you can give the same thing. And then this user, I will say the pass account is disabled intentionally, next, and finish. So this user account is disabled. And anybody know why I disabled this user's account? And the reason why we would disable a user's account?
They don't work anymore. in the company?
Yeah, that's one part of it. And sometimes we have users that will be starting on Monday. So they will tell you, okay, Friday, can you create a user's account so we can be proactive? So when the user show up and it goes through HR policy and get his badge, then you come in to enable the user. So we have, so create about 4 or 5 users here, different names, and I'm gonna be doing the same. So I'm gonna start another user, create. And this account I'll put here. Whatever I do to those accounts, I try to write a note for myself so we can have activity with this. I'll create another user. New user. Paste John, and this is Smith. Copy. This. And I'll put in here. Copy and John Smith. Paste. Next. And for John Smith, put the password. But for John Smith, I asked to must change password after on the next logon. Finish. Okay. And now I created John Smith. I want to delete John Smith. So I created John. I'll right click on John, delete. That's how we do. You right click, you delete. Any reason I delete John Smith, he no longer work with us. Whatever reason HR told us, we get a ticket, delete the user. You come in, you right click on the user, you have options, delete. I just did the delete. Okay. I will create another user, Bob. So create few users and then we'll do different manipulation on them. This user, add Bob, and then Michael. Copy, paste, and Michael, Bob Michael, copy. Yes, Bob Michael. And you for Bob Michael, I want to say user cannot change the password because maybe he have a specific task we want him to do. We don't want him to change his password so that when he leaves, we no longer know the password. So we said user cannot change his password, so he will never be able to change his password. We'll just give him the password, do operation. Once he's done, he will walk away. He's not able to change the password. So I select user cannot change his password. Let's finish. So Michael, I put in here my role. What did I say? Password. Not be changed. Okay, and let me create one user and make him admin. Okay, so we have 2 users. I'll create one more last user. Brown. Okay. Paste. And next, password. Copy. Paste. Okay, yeah, and I'll say Bob Brown, password never expired. Next, okay. Yeah, so we're good. We have some users, activity, and all that. Okay, so this is the users. So we wanna create another thing we call group. Now we know how to create like we have the cyber war users. So we wanna create another one, another OU. So which is we're gonna use for our group, security group. So I'll click here, and then I'm gonna select new OU organizational unit, and then I'll call cyber war group groups, and then I'll create. Okay, so they are in the same level. In here, I'll right click and new group. In AD Active Directory, we call something security group, and we don't give permission to people just on their name. We create a security group and we will add those members to it, so that when we decide to a person quit, we just need to remove him from the group instead of going to trace each one and just finding those activities and all that. So let's say server admin, we call it SG SG underscore server dash or domain admin. So the domain admin. We have so many admins, so and the row, so domain admin, domain, admin. Okay, everybody okay? So
Yep.
we're putting it on the global and then security. If you put distribution, it means that you cannot add permission to that group. It's just for email tracing. So most often you want to add permission to that group. You want to create global and security. If you put distribution, this is going to be 365 for email and exchange purpose. So we set this one and we create okay. So this is the regular view. I don't work on this view most of the time. So when I log into my Active Directory, I come to view and I will do advanced features. It gives me more control and more things to view. So you go to view advanced features. You can click on it again and it give you, this is the smaller page and you're not going to be able to see a lot of stuff. But I like to work in view and in advanced mode, so I can see a whole lot. Okay, so I want to go to the cyber war group, and with this group, I want to click here and then property. When I go on the property, member of. I'm going to add permission to this group. So add, what kind of member do I want to give this one? And then I'll do domain. I'll do a check in here. I'm trying to find which group I have, and I'll put domain in here and I'll do check. These are all permissions that are built in kind of roles. Domain admin, that's what I want to give this group. Domain admin, okay, and okay. What have we done? And apply. Do you understand what we have done? Anybody understand what we have done so far?
Yeah.
Okay. So what have we done?
So we add for this group rules for admin users.
Yeah, so with this group, whoever we will add to this will have the power of admin across our whole network. So we give this to super users, not just a help desk. Help desk don't have this role. So when we go into built-in roles, these are the roles that are built in. So this means these are the jobs that you may end up doing. These are the jobs. You can be power, you can be remote admin, you can be server operator, you can be backup operator, you can be whatever. These are the roles. And these are the distribution event, and these are the permissions that you make. So now what we have done, we mentioned that we want to give Bob Brown, we want to make him admin, and he will have in charge of everything. He can go to any computer, do whatever he want to do there because he's a super user. So we come into this group. There are two ways to add a member to a group. So we come in here, we would double click this group. And now what we want to do, we want to add a member. We will click in here. Do I know the name of the member I want to add? Yeah, I know the name of the member I want to add. I'll click add. And in here, the search is going to go through users, service account, group, or other objects. I know the person I'm looking for. I'm looking for Bob Brown. So I'll search Bob Brown, copy the name, put in here. Bob Brown is one I'm looking for. And when you are using search in the domain, you need to always check search name. Once you see the name underlined, it means they found it's a right choice. If I make a mistake, it wouldn't underline it. It wouldn't find it. That's the clue. Then I'll click OK. So now Bob is now a member of the super users. I'll do apply. OK. So Bob is a member here. I will come in back in. Again, remove Bob. If I, for whatever reason, I no longer need Bob as to be a domain, I've demoted him, or he has moved to be a manager, he doesn't need to do IT job, I'll select on him, remove, and yes, Bob is gone. Apply, okay. I'm coming back to the users. Bob is here. I want to add Bob to a group. I know the group name. I don't want to go too much in there. I'll click on Bob. Properties, member of, on top here. Every member of the domain is a member of the domain group, the domain users. That's authenticated user. So I'll click add. So now I want to add Bob to the group that we created. That is SG. And I don't really remember whatever name again I gave. But because it's a group, I just put SG. That's what I remember. I'll do check. And it shows SG domain admins. That's the group we set up. And there's another way for me to add Bob to a group. So I'll click OK. And now I'll click apply and OK. So now if I click on Bob again, you can see that Bob is not just a regular user. He's also part of the domain. He can be part of printer, part of HR, part of that. That's where we give access. And all these things that we have done, that doesn't seem to be doing anything. We have created user activities, user actions, user manipulation. These are the things that goes on. And this is where our job starts. As IT analysts, as SOC analysts, these are where our job starts. So whatever we have been doing here and there, it's more like help desk approach. I've gone a little deeper into things I shouldn't have, but just to give you the understanding of what goes on. Because you get a job as IT or SOC analyst, your job starts from here. But if you didn't understand whatever happened below, it will be tough for you. That's why some companies like people who grow from help desk, from this one, from that one to get there because you have the basis. Any question? No question. Okay. So the next thing we want to do is what has happened. Let's go and we'll go to something we call event log. Anybody heard of event log before? Event log. We come to event log. Event log is whatever happened on your computer. It comes here. Anything you do on your computer, the SOC analyst role you will take, whatever you take, this is the primary holder. This is where everything begins. So you cannot be IT guy if you don't know anything about event log. Everything starts from here. So the permission, the thing that we set up, we open up, we allow for all those stuff. This was where we wanted to see and get it to be reported to. So when we come to event log, what kind of event are we interested in? There are so many events. So we come in here, event, we can have different event logs. These are application events. So if you click on any one, it's information. It will tell you what has happened here, application, one-on-one event name, ID, class, what happened, this application. We are not interested in application right now, but if we were supposed to be application analysts or we were installing software and it's not going through, this is where you come to see what the error is. This is security error and security event. This is where we spend our day, our life, and that's where you're gonna spend all your time. This is the whole bread and potato. This is your career. We have a setup events, we have system events, we have forwarder events. So if something's get into, so but this way we want to concentrate. Okay, so how do we work with this system? How do we work? So first of all, we don't know a lot of stuff. Well, it's like how do we even, where do we even start from? So we have another brother that will help us. So when we go here, as you can see my screen, I'll move back to, I'll put this in our chat. No thanks. And I'll copy this into our chat. You can have us a good resource. Please throw your question. You have me now, and don't let me skip anything because these are the kind of questions they will be asking you in your interview. They will kick you up here and there. So if you don't understand, please push the question and let's do it. So these are system security event log. So all these things are the event code or event IDs. So if you are working and you don't understand something, you quickly check what is the event log for this, what is the event log for that. Group information, group membership, users device information. These are all different event logs. You can see every event that happened have an event log number or name. So if you create a PowerShell script to find something, you are picking up the event ID. So we go to the other one that I added, this user event. So a user account was created. That is 4720. That is the event ID for user account created. So let me copy that, 4720. And then let's go back onto our system. Now I can go into our filter. Filter, yeah. And then what am I trying to look for? Event log or event. No, I don't want all event. I'm looking for event, which is event ID is 4720. And log type, yeah, all time. And then okay. What do we see? We see 4720. And then when I look at one, I click details. It tells us what this event is supposed to be. Bob dot brown is a class. This is the seed ID. Because it's administrator, it has 500. And these are clues to give us as to what a user is. And if I click this, you can see different aspect of what a seed ID, security group, and all those kind of things it comes. So we click on one, we can go deeper, adjust the model so we can see more. It was created the class, the privilege, we can go in and we can check who created it, what time, and all those kind of stuff. This is the general. The general will tell us that, okay, information is there, it belongs to here, and then these are the information. Yeah. So we created 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in your company, or if you becomes like a SOC analyst, you work for another company. All your job is to be sure that if a user get added to specific group, you are following that group. So you set up a policy and things to trigger those kind of alerts. That's what you view. That's the SOC analyst. So you see that any user that's created and added to the admin group, you get a trigger is sent to all users get created at, let's say, Saturday. You want to find event log and pay it based on the day or time of the day. So you know that the company you are working, they finish work at, let's say, 8 to 4, and then 5 p.m. a user account get created. You know that somebody is intruder or is a hacker in there, or there's something going on. You want to call somebody and be like, hey, somebody created a user, and who created that user? We can check and see the information. So we can say user account management, that's the category type, the 420 logged, and then we see all those information. Security name is part of a security because we are looking at the security log. We check in here, we can see security class administrator. Who created it? The subject was who? The class administrator. My account was what? And I'm logging as administrator. I created that event. And that's what. And what did I create? I created a user called Michael, and that's the class. So that is what it is. And we did deleted a user. So I don't know all those things by my head. And if I come in here, if I close the filter, so if I clear the filter, these are all the logs, everything happening. It comes here, but I won't be able to scroll through and find which event means what, which event means what. It's gonna be a long time, and I wouldn't be able to be successful to do my job. So we work with filters, and the best way to know is with the resource I've given. You come in there. Let me put this part of the same resource, just different chapter. I'll put it here so it's make it easy for me to move through that. So you can pin this, and in your real life career, you can work with that. So this is user account management, and then in here, user was enabled. So now let's enable the user. So you remember I created one user and I deleted the user. I disabled the user. So the user here, user account enabled. So let me copy this one now. 4722, copy. And go back in here. And then let me just search for 4722. So, and see for the proof of concept. Yeah. Current filter 4722. I don't expect to see any account that is enabled because I didn't enable any user. I just remember I disabled that user for 4722. So which user? Yeah. So all these users by default, once we created those accounts, so when we go in here, come in, where, yeah, we are within. So here, when we create a user and we decide to create a user new, There are so many events that triggers at the same time. So we create whatever, let's say Mike, John, whatever. I'm not gonna create the full user, but just put something here, whatever. And then next, all this activity, if I don't select disabled, already I've enabled it. That's the logic. So you saw that I did not enable any user actually, but once you created the user, but you didn't disable the user, this account is disabled. You have by effect enabled the user. Is that clear?
Yep.
Okay, so that's the activity. So that's why we are able to see that. And those users that have been enabled, you see this John Doe, if I come in here, because we didn't enable John Doe, we wouldn't see John Doe here. So we only have 4 logs. So this one first is what? Who was this? This user is who? Let me go in here. This is Bob Brown. Second one, let me go in here. Bob Michael. This one is John Smith. And this one is when we created the system. So I'm going to now enable that user that we disabled. This is John Doe. So I'll come in here, right click, and then enable account. And then, okay. So this is a user event. Once I've done here, in few seconds, we should see that event will come in. And when we right click, you see the hazard sign here means that we have a new kind of action that have come in. So I can just refresh it, refresh. You just see it just came in. And then if I click on that, we should see John Doe. Yeah, John Doe account is enabled. So all we're doing is this is the event log we're following. We need to follow event logs. And the best way to learn it is to come in, study all those. You don't need all. So let's say your supervisor come to you and say that, okay, if 4 users get or 2 users get deleted within 10 minutes or 5 minutes, alert this person or that. You come in, you set a trigger, and you put a time span. If 10 users with this event log happen, alert, because if somebody come in and a hacker and start to delete account, you want to be notified. That's what we do. That's our job. Our job day to day is not to create users or anything. It's to monitor users' activity, log on, log off, time in between, try to correlate so that we can map things into pieces. Okay, so this have been done. Let me see one more for account delete. Yeah, account delete. Let's search account delete. You remember we created one user and we deleted it right away. So that code is 4726. So 4726, that's how we do our job. Nobody put things in our head. We just copy and paste and deal with it. So I'll clear the log, clear log, console, clear log, yeah. And then I'll do new filter, and then I'm going to check deleted. This is deleted account delete. Yeah, this was the account that we created and we deleted right away. It just picked it up. And that's why we went in first initially to set up the user's policy, the account, user account control and account management, so that we can see all these things. If we have not set them up, we wouldn't be able to follow this in presence, if that makes sense. So John Smith was created and deleted right away. And then we can see, so it's in here. So a user account was deleted. That's the meaning to us. And if we look at our cheat sheet, it will tell you that a user account was deleted. That is the code. You can Google it and say, oh, what are they asking you to find to monitor? What is the code for it? And that's the event log. Okay, any question? We have 8:25 now. If we want to proceed, we can proceed to the next part. So in nutshell, that's what it is. And we're done with this is it. And if more, we can generate more, and our advice, we add more kind of thing, try to generate more kind of traffic and all that. Okay, so this is done, and I'll close it. That's the event log, and then we have that. This is so the next operation or attacks for the day we may not be able to finish all is to create Windows 10 system and then join it to the domain after. So what I will do now is I'll power off my domain controller, and then so I'll keep some resource, and then we create the Windows 10 machine. So if you want to do the same, we need to power so that we don't have the two machines at the same time. But once we have the Windows 10 already configured, we will need to power on the domain controller so that we can join to the domain. That will be the only time so that we don't overuse our resource or power our resource. So let me turn off my domain, and you can do the same, and then we're gonna install Windows 10. That is gonna be the client that will be receiving support and things from the Windows the domain controller. So shut down, continue, and if you have any question, pull it up. Yeah. Okay, so it's straightforward. We'll go to machine, add new, and then I'll call mine. What do I want to call mine? Windows 10 2024. Same operation, same similar system of adding machines. Select the ISO. I'll go into order. I'll go one more back. My Windows 10. Windows 10 64 2022. Open. I've added it, and then edition. Now I need to remember so that I don't do the same mistake again. I'll select my edition, and I want Windows 10 Pro. Windows 10 Pro edition. Yeah.
I
And then
I don't have
yeah.
a Windows 10 ISO.
Okay, so you can put in Windows 10 ISO download, and we can download one just now.
Okay.
Just on Google Windows 10 ISO, and it will bring you to the Microsoft website. And then I'll put skip unattended session. Next, give it this basic is fine. Yeah, one is fine because we're not gonna do much on the Windows 10. Next, let me see back. Yeah, next. If I'm going fast, let me know so I can slow down. Next, similar option. Have this. We keep 50 is fine. Yeah, and then finish. So I'll bring this machine down here, and again, I'm gonna go on settings, description. I want to put my password there so it will remind me if we forget. And I'll put my password and the local password, and then I'll put the account as admin. User will be admin, just to remind me, so you don't have to do that one. And once I like to do the copy and paste, so I'll put by direction and by direction. Everything is good here. Oh, yeah, everything is good for here for now. And display storage, yeah, that's fine. Network, I wanna put also host only. Host only adapter, we are not planning to go on internet, and everything is fine. So I'll click OK and start. Are you able to search the Windows 10 or you need help? If you need help, you can share your screen and then we can look at it.
No, it's just there's no direct ISO. I have to use the media creation tool.
No, there's a direct ISO, so I will show you the trick.
Okay, that
Yeah,
would help.
if you wanna share your screen.
Sure, one sec.
Okay.
Oh, it says it'll stop your screen share. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine. You take over.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm just
Okay. So
here.
before you do download, can you right click on your system, go inspection?
Oh,
Just
you mean
right
here?
click on. Yeah, anywhere. And then you want to go on your network or the layout, and then we want to change it to we want to change the component to anything. It could be like where are you on the network?
Yes.
Okay. No, go back to the main again, and I think yeah, and I want to see device. I think it's the device on the top. Yeah, go to the device there. You see there's a top, there's like more like a phone or something on the top right,
Top
where
right.
there's supposed to be X. Yeah, go.
Oh, one second. The
Go.
cameras are in the way.
Okay.
Oh,
You
this.
see, yeah, click one of them. Yeah. And then go now, refresh the page. And then you will be able to see download. Yeah, go down. Download. Yeah, you see download there.
This?
Yeah.
Well, that's for the creation, media creation.
No, not the media creation. So we want to select the Windows 10 and we will be able to, yeah. So go back again and then we'll come back here. So just go back. Windows 10. Yeah, now click. Yeah. So click on download. Let's see what happened. Yeah.
But it's installation media.
Yeah, I click download and let me see what happened because we're supposed to be able to view it.
Yeah, it's
No.
media creation.
Okay. Yeah. Now, okay. Just go one back and then we do the Windows 10 search, but not the media creation. So just the Google, yeah. And then Windows 10 ISO. Yeah. Now we have it. Select the screen. Select the screen now before you click on this.
This?
Yeah, just select the screen. Yeah, and then do a refresh, like the search. It's a little small, I know, but yeah, that will help us. So it will trick it to look like a phone, so it wouldn't force for the media creation. That's what we are trying to do. If not, I will generate one for you. The other way to do it is also to go to the network and select the interface. Yeah.
Here?
Yeah, and I know there's one that we need to select and select anything apart from Windows. Select Linux or something. Yeah. Let me come in one. Give me 1 second here. I'll test it on my machine and I'll see. 1 second. Windows 10. Windows. So, yeah. Just waiting. Yeah, there's another way. I think I have another way. For whatever reason, I don't know if Microsoft decide to fix that. This guys, yeah, it's now showing me permission not allowed, but I've used it not long ago. Network condition, set it. Or the browser. Yeah.
Can we use Windows 11?
We could have, but it's not the what we want to work with. It's still gonna work if you have Windows 11, but we should be able to download Windows. There's yeah. Let me give you the another way. It's just through GitHub. Yeah. Windows 10 download of Windows. Okay, let's use GitHub. There's another Windows 10 version. There's a desktop web Windows 10 download GitHub. Yeah, just Windows 10 download GitHub. If you put that in the search, there's option to just download the Windows 10 right there. Can you find out Windows 10 download desktop? There are so many links to help you to just bypass them and just download right away. Or if you wanna use different browser, if you have Safari, it's gonna be able to download right away. I don't know how or why they decided to block that kind of, because I just use that trick. We will change your browser and you will be able to download, but for whatever reason, it's not allowing to be used today.
I know
Okay.
Microsoft constantly tries to get rid of every single possible way.
Yeah, but we're always gonna find another way. We are in IT, so it's not a problem. Download. Download. Have you tried a GitHub thing?
I'm on GitHub. The links I see here didn't do
Okay.
anything.
There is one Windows 10 download GitHub. Join to H2. So you can use the Musgrave link.
Oh, okay.
You found the Musgrave link.
Uh,
On GitHub.
this one? Or no, is that not that one?
Let me see. I wasn't even looking. I was searching on mine also. Windows 10 ISO download. Yeah. GitHub. Yeah. Not this one. Musgrave have a one. Just go back and it should be able to point you directly. Yeah, it's called Musgrave. Yeah, that one. You have Windows 10, but this is the activation. But you have the download instead of just put GitHub Musgrave in the search. Yeah. Yeah. No, I think you are still clicking too fast, or maybe you see the Windows 10. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think we can download it afterwards, or it should be easier to download after once the class is over. So we will finish, and if you still need help, we can link up one-on-one and help you to download that. So
Okay.
okay, let me continue. I'll take the screen and then we'll finish up with the rest of the class. Yeah. Share my screen. And now still share. One. Okay, share. Okay. So I mean, continue with the installation, and United States, everything is fine. I'm not changing anything. Install.
I think I found one service where you can download it. So I did throw the link in a chat.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. And I'll continue here. I don't have a product key. We don't wanna, and I'll do the Pro 64 next. Accept. Next. And then custom install or next. And yeah, should be done. So all we're doing now, once we get this, is to join the Windows 10 to the domain. So we just want to finish the setup before we turn our domain controller, and probably we may be able to join before the end of the class, or if not, then we'll continue on Wednesday. Any question with the domain and the server?
No.
If there's
Not
random
really,
question,
not yet.
yeah. If random questions, are you able to answer them? And it's like, okay, when did somebody log in today? Did Michael log in today? In order to address that, how would you go about? So you can go, and then based on the time lapse they give you, let's say the supervisor want to know, or HR want to know if a person log in here, you can go and check with the event log, with the event log as logon ID. You check and you see the logon ID based on which user. And if the username is not shown as logon, that means the user didn't log on. If the user log on, you check with the logon activity, the timestamp they gave you, you'll be able to verify that. So Those are the activities that we do. Our job will not be creating the users. Our job is not be creating the servers. Our job will not be creating Active Directory. Our job is not be creating groups. That is not our job. Our job will basically be searching, timeline, and monitoring. That is specifically most of our job. But instead of us not to be tricked by somebody, that's what in the lab we learn how to build it, because sometimes you have to get your hands dirty. You get in there in any way to be able to verify that whatever you are searching, because it's easier for, let's say, technician, somebody delete a log or whatever. Because we turn on the process, we can test if deleting a log or running PowerShell to clear off a system, what is the process ID? We can see, okay, this process ran just before we came in. Why did they run that? You can pinpoint and bring things up front, because people may clean up. Hackers may come in, delete user, try to delete log. All those activities, they don't know that because we set up certain triggers, we'll be able to discover and put pieces together, even though they've tampered with the rare evidence. Because if they hide themselves and they create a user and then do some operation and after delete the user, we already have the log. We can check and see the whole day. Was a user created? Yes, the user was created. Oh, a normal help desk agent will say, oh, I don't find that user in the AD. That user is not there. But you as a security, you know that I need to go to event log and find created users, deleted users within that time span or within a day or two, because maybe he hide himself in, created the user dominantly, nobody saw, and just quietly 2 days after, before he came in to set up his operation. So we'll be able to stretch and search through a week and find out, oh, okay, within the week, some account was created and deleted quickly. That's how, but that set us different from the help desk just doing printer. And most of help desk, sometimes your job will be enable, disable user. That's your IT job. Yeah, you get a call, oh, my account is locked, unlock the account. Oh, my account is this password expired, change password. And this is IT. So IT could be boring if you want it to be boring, but in security, you'll be able to dig into, try to put pieces together, put your skills in here, and then you come out with a report. Based on the report, the account was created this day, it was deleted this at this all time, where there's nobody help desk creating account. Or if account is created, you may have a list of users that have access to create account. So here we see that admin created the account. So if the company policy is admin should not create account, that admin account is supposed to be only used on emergency. And that account, it get used to create account. You trigger to authorities to look at it. Because it could be hacker have find a way to get that password and using it. But our company policy will flag it to let us know that somebody is inside doing something. If that makes sense.
My Windows 10 is going to be downloading for next 48 minutes.
Okay, no problem. So we will close the class, and then our next class on Wednesday, we will start with the completion of the Windows 10. So if anyone can complete their installation of the Windows 10, that would be great. So we can work towards that direction once you're done creating your Windows 10. At least create it, and when we come, we can refresh it, or at least find the ISO, have the ISO ready so we can go ahead with installation or anything. So if that works.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, so
Quick question: is there any guide how to set up Windows Server, and what do we need to pick and choose with all the installations that we can use? Because I'm pretty sure I will need to redo the whole process all over again. I'm
Okay,
100%.
there's
I did a
yeah,
lot of
there's no problem. I think Tara is gonna send you a copy of the previous recording. But as I said, our setup, we turn off different permissions. So with this recording, you need to look this specific one because, as I said, if some GPOs were not enabled, we could do that in the next class, like in 5 minutes. So that is not an issue. So just don't worry too much about it. Just make sure you have those ISO files ready. If you wanna have a resource online, how to install server on VirtualBox, you just need to put on Google, put on Facebook, on YouTube, how to install server on Windows on VirtualBox. If you are not able to do that, don't worry about it. Just let us know the first class. We can quickly do it as a reminder, and then we can get that one done in no time. So that will be my 2 suggestions. Get your files ready, and then we can do that the first instant. Or if you can get the Windows 10 also installed because it's separated, get the Windows 10 also installed. And when we start the next class, just prompt me and we can use like 5-10 minutes to finish that process, and then we can continue.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. Yeah. Okay, so if there's any other question, I'll take it. If not, I'll let my script run. And if you have to leave now, we are at 8:52. You're good to go. And I will stop the recordings and it will be published to the cloud after it's going to be packaged and sent to YouTube. And then it will be shared to the team. And if you have a question, I'm still here till my finish program. And if you have also finished with your Windows 10, that's also great. We can continue joining to the domain in the next class.
We'll have to wait another 40-something minutes, so I don't see the point of, for me at least, to sit and wait.
Okay. Okay, no problem. So you're good. Yeah. All right. Have a great day. Yeah.
Thank you. Have a good night. We'll see you soon.
Okay, no problem. Sure. Take care.